this is what I really want to know. Like, just for y'all's like brains and information, you guys, the people in front of me,
Yeah.
as chill as y'all look,
Yeah.
if there was ever a behind the scenes of a movement out of Chicago that people don't know about, y'all are definitely part of it. I would say if the 2000s and 10s all the way up until now out of Chicago, would y'all say that y'all are definitely a major part of that?
Yeah, for sure. I would say from
99%.
90. Yeah.
Wait, say who you are though.
I'm D Games,
D-Games.
director, producer,
And you directed and
Mogul.
produced it.
Musician.
musician,
Yes, sir.
artist, everything.
But what artists though? So you talking
Chief-
about all the videos and stuff?
All the
all the
videos.
early
Tell them which
music
ones
videos.
too,
Come
though.
on, yeah, get
Chief,
to me.
Chief Keef, Love, Sosa. I don't
Ooh,
like
okay.
all the early
I don't
stuff.
like, yeah.
Chief Keef is all. I did Chief Keef's first solo music video. Which was Bang.
Bang.
I did all the early Lil Durk stuff.
Right, when he had a fade, before he had the blondes.
Before he had the fade.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Tell them which ones,
the
guys.
dreads. I met Durk like in 2009.
Okay,
He was like 15, 16.
Right.
Louis.
King Louis.
King Louis, what's up?
Yes, sir.
Cowboy, Tink,
Everybody.
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 Wow.
Look, when I was growing up in high school, I'll never forget, there was an artist named Spenzo, and his
yeah,
cousin went to
Spenzo.
my school. Rest in peace. But that was like one of my best friends. And I'll never forget all the freestyle videos and so many different things that I saw from this artist. And I used to tell my dad and my brother Chance too back then, because we was both trying to get on. Used to be like, we need that D Games video. So it's an honor, man. It's
Right.
an honor at this point.
So how did this connect? How did y'all?
Man.
Because you said you needed it, and then now y'all here together.
Nah, so you know,
And you live in Atlanta, so but we gonna
he
get
live
to
in
that
Atlanta.
in a minute.
No, this is all part of it. I'm glad that
okay,
you
all right.
that you said that. But yeah, the way that it started off is that I was doing a project where I was very inspired because I am an independent artist,
Yeah.
right? So I have the creative control, but then I also have the ability to decide when I'm going to release something or the structure of how it's distributed to the people. And last summer, I decided in Chicago, I wanted to open a studio that had 3 different rooms that were going to be active every Sunday. And we invited artists, producers, videographers, graphic designers, but all from Chicago was the whole thing.
Right.
And while we were in these sessions, we made like 50 plus records. And this is one of the ones that was made. Now, fast forward, after the track was done, it had this cadence and a presence that reminds me of a parade that we have every summer in Chicago called the Bobilican on the South Side.
I heard
So
about that.
as soon as I heard the beat, and then I heard La La Too Much, shout out to her, she on the record too, I was like, this feels like a community type record. We need King Louis on here. Because I've always seen King Louis before I knew him personally, and I think a lot of people in Chicago is like that big funny cousin. You know what
Okay,
I'm saying?
all right.
So it was bringing the track together. I put my verse on it, and then my dad heard the track. Shout out to my pops. He manages me and Chance, and he's our senior advisor. And he was like, yo, let me run point on this. And my dad, we've been partners for a long time, but that was the first time that he was like, yo, this song, the reach that I see and the impact that I think it could have. And my dad, he worked with Barack Obama when, you know, he got elected. He helped him run his campaign. So
Okay.
he's not a guy that messes around with his time. Like, he
Right,
knows
yeah,
what
yeah,
he's
yeah,
doing,
yeah.
and he
I don't
knows
got
how to
time
do
to
it.
play.
So when he said that, and this is the first record he's ever said that to me about, although he's managed the other projects, I was like, we're going to have to do it big. Second step with D Gaines is once we realized we had a legendary Chicago song that embodied house music, ghetto house music, the juke culture, the footwork culture, we like, this has to be shot by a Chicago director.
Yeah, yeah,
And it
yeah.
has to be shot by the best of the best Chicago
and
directors.
the reason behind that is like when Denzel said it's something about
culture.
It's culture. It's got nothing to do with race.
Culture.
He was asking because he's like, why couldn't like Steven Spielberg shoot this movie? He was like, because I needed a black person to direct this because they understand what a
hot comb smells like. Yeah,
Right?
it's
Just like
culture.
Steven Spielberg needed to shoot Schindler List because
Exactly.
he's Jewish. He understands that perspective of a culture. And it got nothing to do with being racial.
Exactly. It's about culture. So to fast forward again, we got to get the best of the best Chicago directors. And that's why I'm glad that you said, for anybody in ATL that don't know, y'all got D Gaines, so make sure y'all reach out to him.
Because he lives here
Because he
now.
lives
Yeah, I'm
here.
here.
And it's a blessing for him to be
Him and
here.
his sister.
But for me, at the time, I was like, yo, I need D Gaines, and he's in Atlanta.
Right.
So I don't know if he's going to be willing to shoot this video or be willing to come out. And shout out to my video commissioner, Danielle Austin.
Shout out.
She was like,
video commissioner.
Video commissioner. That's what I'm saying. So like, and then
Write
even
that
to bring it back, like my whole idea when we were doing these records was that I didn't want to get just one videographer or even pick out 10 videographers and say, who's going to shoot it.
Yeah.
Danielle Austin, shout out to her. She has a huge track record with all kinds of artists from Chicago and outside of it. And I grew up with her, and she's like my big sister. And I came to her with this idea, and I said, I want you to help me find the best directors. I want you to, because not only do I love your art, but I also see your mind and your business sense and your relationship.
Let me ask you this, man, because I understand that you want to get all this information out.
Yeah.
But do you realize that there are people in the world that are better at being an architect than they are at being the construction worker?
We made pyramids. All these buildings here don't look nice.
Hear me out when I say this. I think I run into people who are creatives.
Yeah.
But they don't know what kind of creatives they are.
That's a good one.
You get what I'm like? So for example, like when I listen to you talk, and you said all these videos, you guys are literally architects. So you guys might draw up the script. But your pops is like that.
Yeah.
You're literally telling me
processes.
You're literally telling me that the same thing your pops is. Oh, I got the idea. Let me draw up the schematics.
Exactly.
And now I'm gonna get the construction workers to make this happen.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So you guys are the great architects of whatever you guys are doing.
I appreciate it.
But you're also trying to be an artist. Do you think that there's going to be a conflict?
Yeah, and I'm glad that you said that, because one thing that I always say, and then I'm going to let Gaines speak to it too, is the example I give is I don't believe anybody makes a sandwich and they don't know what they want to do with it. So you go in your kitchen, either you're hungry or you want to make it for somebody else, but nobody just goes and makes a sandwich. And the sandwich is the product, right? Mm-hmm. And you know what's best for that product. Maybe you want to save it for later. Maybe you bringing it to work. Maybe, again, it's for somebody you made it for. But you know what to do best with it because you created it as an entity. It didn't exist before that. However, in not just the music industry, but the athletic industry and the anything entertainment, acting-wise, when you come to somebody and you say, hey, I'm an artist or I'm a football player or I'm an actor, the first response, which is natural, is, well, who's going to manage you? Because you can't dribble the ball and do the business accounting too.
100%.
Or who's going to be the manager because you can't rap. I don't believe in that philosophy. Okay. I believe that the artists, the athletes, the actors know best, just like Denzel said, it's culture. And you can't.
You can understand the culture, but let me give you just a little pushback on it.
Please.
You can understand the culture, okay?
Right.
But understanding how something works doesn't make you the athlete to push it. Now, here's the thing.
I agree with that.
Now, here's the thing. I've watched a lot of people who come to me. I've been in this industry a long time.
Yeah.
They'll tell me, I'm gonna do this for the culture. And you know what I've always told them? I'm like, I know what you feel about yourself, but that's not how the audience sees you. And you don't get to pick your fans pick you. Now, you can go argue with your front camera till you blue in the face, but I know I'm right because I've seen it a million times. I know people in this industry, right, who are straight hood. But because of the way they look and the way they sound, the type of audience that chose them and chose to like them was not the audience that they wanted to like them.
And that's a big thing.
They'll go, oh man, but I did this. I'm like, yeah, but the audience doesn't perceive you that way.
Correct.
Yeah. You don't get to pick your fans pick
but
you.
But let me say this in that facet. So for majority of artists, that's the case. But not when you're independent. I have the creative control of where I want, but I'm just, check me out. I have the creative control and the distribution of where my music goes, where it's played. So even an example right now is Too Much, and that's why I'm glad you brought it up, is a record that spans from 50 years of Chicago culture, starting with house music, going to ghetto house music, to juke, to footworking. But it's something that has more longevity in the city than whether it's Chief Keef, myself, or Chance that has been popularized, right? But based off of, and you're right, the way that the music industry has been structured institutionally, the folks that do the distribution to rap radios, one group of folks. The folks that do distribution at MTV, it's one group of folks.
And online services and everything else.
The processing and the way that they set those standards and guidelines, it's not just for no reason. there's a reason why hip hop videos look like they have a lower budget, even though they have the same budget as pop videos. So when you have the ability to decide your fan base, when you perform, when you put a song out, what record stations and interviews you do have the opportunity in a large way to decide who receives it. Now, you still can't pick your fans.
You still can't pick who likes it, though.
That's a lot more control.
There's a difference between and there's a difference between being on the stage. For example, I've seen millions of dollars put. This is a great thing because I have a great interview with Nipsey Hussle, and we talked about this. And me and Nip were talking.
And that's a businessman.
Yeah. So me and Nip were talking, and this is something I've always told people. I was like, bro, you can't choose your fans. I was like, I've seen people spend millions of dollars, go to every platform that they believed or perceived to be what they wanted to be looked at as, right? Fans still gotta like it. And Nipsey said the same thing. He said, you can have all the machine in the world behind you, but if you don't connect with the right people, it don't matter. So all that, I got this label, this station, or this streaming platform, I got this streaming farm in the last 20 years of doing that. All this stuff doesn't matter if the audience isn't going to connect with you because you're targeting an audience that's saying, it's cool, but you're missing out on...
And to double down on Nipsey, if you look at Nipsey and his career, like that's somebody I look up to in like a major way. You look at the marathon, the store that he built within his neighborhood. Like you look at the relationship and how important it was and the creative control he had as an independent artist to continuously brand where he's from. So I do believe that Nipsey Hussle, in a large way, his perception of how people see him isn't just something that he did musically, but there's a business sense behind the folks that received it. But to agree with you, you cannot make anybody like you.
Yeah, I've seen, like I said, I've seen millions of dollars spent, and they be like, and people come to me like, oh man, y'all forcing that. I was like, bruh, I can make you sound familiar, but I can't make no one like you.
Period.
This is a stage to perform on. I can't, listen, if I make an ish burger, right? And it's got a pretty bun and I glazed it and everything, it's still an ish burger. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. And I've seen too many people fall down that perspective. When it comes to you shooting the videos though, okay? You had to see something and go, hey, I'm gonna this right here needs an image.
No, God bless me with the how can I put it? The
vision.
The vision. It's deeper than just the vision though. You know what I mean? It's just I'm really blessed and going back to like what you asked earlier, like being an architect and the construction work. Being an artist too.
Right.
I love it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to do it whether or not the people love it or not. And then, like, I like the analogy that you made with, like, the whole sports thing. I feel like probably some of the best coaches played the game, and they played the game well.
There we go.
So, me being an artist, especially, like, now, I feel like I could do it even better now than I did back then. Because I'm way more polished visually, sonically, because I engineer, I produce, I do everything. So,
and he said it. I didn't say it, but I agree. I agree. Like, the video we did is hard, bro. And like I said,
that was with a small budget.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm
growing up on it.
To two architects.
No, for real though. Like, for real though.
I'm not trying to be funny.
Seriously,
it's a respectful thing. I'm listening to two architects. And I tell people all the time, there's nothing wrong with being an architect in this industry. You'll have a longer life.
You have a longer longevity.
You're going to have a longer career because most artists don't know how to reinvent themselves.
Yes.
They stick to whatever that's working, and they don't know how the art of reinvention is how you become an icon. Let me say that again. The art of reinvention is how you become an icon.
I agree.
And start looking, if you're an artist or whatever you do, start looking at people outside of your industry, but are in the same realm, and you will forever win. So if you're doing music, go. How come Oprah survived 40 years?
Because she was an interviewer on news.
How come Denzel has survived 50 years? How come this person survived all? I'm just throwing out numbers, but how come they've lasted so long? Well, they've reinvented themselves. They understood. This year I'm going to be fat. Next year I'm going to be buff.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at The Rock. The Rock went from like, I'm a big, strong guy to now he's ripped.
Yeah.
And now he's the most,
actors.
you know, he's got liquor companies going on. He's
pancakes, all types of stuff.
He came back to save the WWE, bro.
Literally, I watched that. Very inspiring. Shout out to Dwayne Johnson. You're a huge inspiration.
He came back to save it, and it's going intensely good.
I've been seeing like the new clips.
I watched all that. We all seen it.
Yeah,
so we like that.
The art of reinvention is my thing, and the reason why I say that about being an architect is just I don't know, man. I think when you are an artist, the kind of artist you are can sometimes get in the way of where you belong in the art form.
Exactly.
Because you're like, I know I'm an architect, but I could be in front of the stage. And it's like,
you
might just be a good person that sets the stage up and makes this person who's only good at being in the limelight very good. I am not a behind-the-scenes guy. Creativity-wise, I give you all the ideas.
Right.
I can sell ish to a toilet, bro.
Right.
No problem.
But that's what it comes in, though. Like,
you know what I
making
mean?
sure it's not your
but
ego.
like the management part, the paperwork part,
yeah.
Leave me alone.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But with this, so you're in Atlanta now.
Yeah.
And you've been here how long?
Been here a little over a year.
And how you liking it so far?
I love the weather.
The weather's much better than Chicago.
But,
that's the first thing I said.
You know,
it ain't not like Chicago's food.
I'll tell you about you. Yeah, you guys don't like the food. Okay, here's
no, I do like the food. Shout out JR Crickets, man.
Like
but he ain't had JR Crickets yet, so like he ain't really got the whole spin.
Let me explain something to you. Atlanta has the #1 international airport in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There's every kind of restaurant here. East African, West African restaurants.
Yeah, I gotta
Asian.
So you gotta explore.
So you gotta explore a little bit more.
Yeah, you gotta tell us where to go.
Like Buford Highway, it's not only Latin people's food. There's Asian people food up there, East Africans, Little Lagos, West Africa food over there.
I need that.
All of it's in Atlanta.
You're making me hungry right now.
And all of it's in Atlanta. So you can get a variety of style food just because we have the biggest international. And people come here and they stay here.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. So you just got to travel around a little bit.
Got to travel. We got to know, too, because, you know, like just in Chicago, like, you know, like Gaines said, we got some of the best food like in the world.
What's that thing y'all do? Y'all do it every year. It's this thing.
Oh yeah, we got the taste of Chicago.
Yeah,
so like, but you know what? A taste.
I've heard about it. Never went. Everyone's like, you ain't made the taste of Chicago.
When you come to Chicago, regardless of if it's during the taste or not, we're gonna make sure you have a great experience. But in that same fashion, I think the reason why the Taste of Chicago is so successful and people travel in is because you get to actually taste the best of the best. So you got to know. So I think even for Atlanta, like Young Thug put me on JR Crickets like years and years and years ago. So every time I come here, just last night I took my pops there, and when we go to East Station, the first thing they say is, "Man, you got to go get you some lemon pepper wet." And I'm like, "Bro, I know, you know, but I don't know about the other spots you're talking about."
Bunch of little spots.
I need all of that.
I go everywhere. I take myself out on dates.
Yeah.
And I go to like
that's my kind of, you know what I'm saying? You get the fancy light.
Date with who? Myself.
Say I'll take the largest, most expensive bottle you got.
Man, whatever. I be out there by myself eating like the best steaks, man. I've just so many spots I go to in Atlanta people don't know about, and they just drive right by them.
Yeah.
They be driving right by. I'm like, good. I don't want y'all niggas.
You don't want y'all, right?
I don't need none of y'all. This ain't no hookah spot.
Exactly.
Right? And I have a grass wall. This is a real restaurant. And I don't want y'all here knowing about it.
Hey, but the grass walls and the hookah lounges got some of the best food.
Nah, they got they got too much gratuity and attitude. Y'all can have it.
That's an Atlantean said it. I ain't said it, y'all.
I said it. I don't give a damn. Get on my nerves, boy. When I see, listen, if I be at certain of these high-end restaurants that I go to and I start seeing like I call them the minions. When the minions start coming in, I'm like, oh, I gotta go.
The minions. Oh my gosh.
Gotta get out of the minions.
But y'all got that nightlife culture here too.
Yeah, so Atlanta's got a good party culture. But I'm gonna tell you, I went to Chicago. This is back when Kels was still out. I was up there with Ray Lavender, and Ray Lavender's a singer. And I'll tell you this, it's so funny. It was cold. Okay, but wait, hold on.
It was cracking though.
Hold on, bro. I just want y'all to know something. Let me explain this kind of cold, because I'm not from the Midwest. I'm originally a Southern California kid. Right. So the cold that we have in Georgia was already cold to me.
No.
We go to Chicago, and because we're out there, I think I went to like Douglas Park or something.
I was.
I had to go perform or something out
there. Shout out Douglas Park, man.
Okay, so it was packed, right? So we went out there.
It was outside in the park?
But this was summertime in that first time.
Okay,
so it was
great.
All good.
Good. That's crazy in October.
We go back again because we want to do some records. We go back again. It's cold.
Thinking it was gonna be hot though.
But it was right. Because I was like, damn, we wasn't here that long ago. Why is it? It was so cold. It was the first time I questioned God.
Oh my God. Now it'll make your tears freeze.
Because people, when people see you with like another star, they just want autographs from everybody. So the people was trying to get autographs at the hotel. No. It was so cold. I was like, Brian.
They were like, you must be the most famous dude here. You refuse to sign every autograph.
It was so cold. I was like, it does not have to be this cold, God, for snow.
Yes.
No, it doesn't. No, it won't snow because it's that cold. It gets so cold, it ain't gonna snow.
It was colder than penguin ass, bro. It was
when
so
we shot
cold.
too much, it was cold.
When we shot too much, so
yeah, that's how it was.
When we shot our video,
signing autographs, I'm like, F this, bro. I'm
so
out.
look, one of the biggest things, but to your point is like Chicago is a city where it goes through so many different climates. And one of the scenes that we shot for one of the points, it was hot outside, and then the other one, it's on my birthday, which is January 19th. That's one of the coldest points of the year. But even though it's freezing, we still packed out a club with like 700 people for a juke party. So it's like in Chicago, just like it's like you get used to it. It's almost like a thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got no choice. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't got no choice. It's like
when I first moved to Atlanta, I had to get used to this weather. And
yeah,
y'all can do that.
I wear gym shoes and hoodies.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Hoodies and outside, but for real though, like I might put a jacket and a hoodie. He like, I don't want it.
Yeah, all that explaining to me is not convincing me of ish, bro.
My dude,
it was colder than penguin ass, and I ain't want it. It was so, but I had a good time, and the food is good up there, and the people were nice.
Yeah.
And I love the beautiful, like the prettiness of the city. This was years ago, so I don't know what it's like now. I haven't been so long.
For sure, you gotta come back, man.
Yeah, okay.
We'll show you around. But since you are complimenting Chicago, I do have to say, Atlanta is probably one of the most hospitable places in the world.
So let me explain something to you. I told
literally.
So this is the thing, and people have said this plenty of times. If right now you're in Atlanta, but 20 minutes in any direction you in Georgia, so you can kind of get both. Yeah. You know, and that's what
it's really like it might be Georgia that I'm feeling when I'm in Atlanta.
I have people that like my homies back in Cali. They want me to come do my broadcasting and my radio out there, like, bro, because there's 40 million people in one state, and you can get 10 times more money back.
And you like, man,
I've had a lot of legendary moments in Atlanta that have got my name big, back home, and it was like, I brought YG here first for his first show. Yeah. I brought, I gave a lot of people. I gave Kendrick Lamar his first interview in Atlanta. Me and my partner did. When he was getting on, like, there's a lot of things that I've done legendary in this state that I've been allowed to do.
That's fine.
You know what I mean? I've gotten praises from Tip and and all these people right out of Atlanta, and I just tell people, I'm like, bro, I'm gonna
stay here.
I'll live here and I'll vacation and travel everywhere else.
Right, but
it would take an immense check for me to go back to Cali, homie, on something.
And then to stay there, I need another one. I need
them taxes and laws.
Oh my gosh!
Do this, and all the gas prices are $7. Yeah. I'm like, bro. That check would have to be retarded.
$7 is crazy.
It's ridiculous, bro. It's stupid. It's so ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, it's on Cali, the gas prices.
It's bro. Yeah. That governor.
I didn't know.
He's ran that state into the ground.
But $7 for a gallon is crazy.
He's ran that state into the ground. But anyway, so you guys staying in Atlanta now. So you guys are comfortable here. Everything's working out. So what's up with the project? When's all the good stuff?
So like D-Game said earlier, I know we got a lot to work on. We got new tracks. We gonna definitely do some more videos. For myself, like I said, this is just one of the songs that we put together out of like 50 records that we got that's all Chicago. So the most important thing for myself is not only making sure that the album and the project that comes next is right, but also making sure, like, the love that we feeling right now from you is being felt at home. Like, there's people really listening and tuning into these shows and seeing the conversation of juke and house music and just Chicago displayed in a way that they're not used to seeing on TV.
I think it's really good that you guys are doing a culture
a cultural thing because it's like people
don't to get the music. It's another thing for y'all to
get the culture.
Get the culture. And I tell people the advantages that California and New York had in the early days of hip hop is culture.
Break dancing and all that.
So New York had this dance party culture
break dancing, bro. They had the whole Grandmaster
and then it was
Flash,
like the lyrical, smirical guy, and then the West Coast we had the gangster rap with the low riders,
gangster rap, NWA, like
you know what I mean. So
had
the culture was able to be like
the culture was shown, but also think about graffiti and like so many. Yeah. When you think about New York and you think about LA, like
there was
all the different thoughts.
Everyone else that came after it, unfortunately, the culture was part of it, but it didn't get the same love. It just got the music. It's like, oh, we like this guy. He happens to be from so-and-so.
Yeah.
Oh, we like so-and-so. They happen to be from, but they didn't get to see, like, there's a culture behind this. You know
Huge
what I mean?
culture. And the biggest thing about culture is community. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, like, dance culture in Chicago spans 50 years. So there's 5 different generations of people that, you know, when we play this record, they feel or see something that's nostalgic to them. And that opportunity and being able to create that with this song and with the rest of the music, that's the goal, you know.
Yeah. I feel like Juke has never really been in the mainstream either. Especially
like when people think of dance in Chicago, they think of step.
But you know what's crazy is we have footworkers in Missy Elliott's videos. Like some of the people that are pioneers, they didn't get that highlight.
Artists, then it's been like the new thing to rap over the juke beat. So that's like a whole
for sure
different thing.
And then like, and you know, like even from that conversation, like, you know, shout out DJ Nate, shout out the Pope, like, and then of course shout out like people like DJ Cashmere that made the Percolator that even started the conversation. But the thing, and I'm glad you said this, that I love about dance culture in Chicago and juke culture and footwear culture is a lot of those records were sampled by songs that meant something to our past generations, but also they were made by us. And then the facilities, like whether they were basements where you're seeing folks with the glow lights, they were all housed by us. So it was by us, for us. And I think that, like you said, I want that to get love as well, because I can see how that trickles to different spaces and the platforms that I've been given. Thank you, where we could talk to Atlanta about it. I think everybody should know about that community.
Yeah, my last thing I want to ask you guys is really important because you guys have heard of what's it called? Is it called carpal tunnel? When someone gets like their bad joints, carpal tunnel.
Oh yeah, I got it right now.
So you got it right now.
I was like, I don't know what it is. What is
so
it?
Your joints get tight or something like that because you're repeatedly doing
you're typing
something
on your
too
phone
much.
And stuff.
You know what I mean? So my question to you guys is, how much do you pay your sister? Because she's been holding that damn phone up the whole time, and the wrist is not bending. She's super strong.
I pay her in compliments and love.
Oh, but y'all need a check for that wrist.
No, but so. Element. Oh,
we're gonna stop it right there, man. Fellas, thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much,
your boy
man.
ET, man, Mr. Afternoons. Much success to you. Welcome to the ATL. How long you gonna be in town for?
Man, I leave tonight, but I'm gonna be back this summer. And then when you come
moving here?
No, I'm not playing. Well, eventually, eventually I want a spot here for sure. Yeah. But I'm gonna be back here this summer because, like I said, I managed Chance. He's got a new album coming. Make sure y'all check out that Buried Alive. It just hit streaming services today with a new music video as well. So we come back, let's connect. And if you come to Chicago, the Bennett's of Chicago, make sure you hit us up. We'll make sure you good.
I'm have a great time with y'all, bro. And I'm gonna get you some money, sis.
There we go. There we go.